everyone, I'm your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Today, I'm actually not going to give you a horoscope right now. I'm just gonna chat you up about what's going on with me, give you some updates, that kind of thing. I think what I've decided, plans keep changing. I'm just trying to figure out what's best for me, really. I think what I've decided is that I'm going to take it very easy on my daily horoscope videos over the next month and a half. Yeah, I think about the next month and a half, and by easy I mean probably not do them. Doesn't mean I won't be around. I think I will try to pop in every once in a while to do maybe special videos for special events, full moons, new moons, retrogrades, maybe do live videos on Facebook as well, but I just won't be doing my dailies as much. Or at all for the next month and a half. You can find them on horoscope.com. Please do go there. They will be there. They're going to be a good bit shorter than what I do here. Usually I think about 5 minutes is what they are now, but you can find me there every single day until I do return, okay? I'll put the link down below where you can find me, the specific page in horoscope.com, so check that out in my description box. You can find me there. You can also find me on Facebook, on their Facebook page, horoscope.com. They do post me on Facebook Watch as well, so please find me there. I'm not leaving you all hanging. I think I just really need, yeah, to just take some time out to myself to figure out what is going on, to calm my energy back, and to feel okay. So I think I'm just going to take a break to do that. I'm going to spend some time with family, so I'm going to go home for a few weeks. And then I'm going to spend some time with my aunt, with my extended family as well. And then I got to get my wisdom teeth out. I don't have an appointment for that, but I'm going to try to make that appointment somewhere for the middle of August when I get back to get my wisdom teeth done. So that's going to take me out for a good chunk of time. Yeah, and I'm just hoping that I can figure some things out while I'm away, to just rest, take it easy, for sure, and to just give myself time to work on some other projects perhaps that I've been wanting to work on that I haven't, and just take care of some loose ends. All right, so just wanted to let you all know about that. If you have ordered a reading from me, I'm going to take care of all those before I go. So do not worry, I will do those readings. I'm still planning on doing them unless you've contacted me already, or unless I've contacted you already. So yeah, so just know that I'm going to stop my daily horoscope videos, but I am going to take care of those readings, so please do not worry. And then after that, I'm not taking reading. I mean, you can still purchase a reading on my website, but I will not be, if you purchase anytime after today, I will not be scheduling readings until the next few months, probably until at least the middle of August, but we're probably talking about September. Okay, so just thought I would give you all an update. I did go to the doctor. The doctor was great. Gave me some vitamins and stuff, which do seem to be working. Gave me a few different things for my different issues. Something for my hormones to balance those, which has been doing well. I haven't woken up with night sweats. I've been getting night sweats for like the past year and a half pretty consistently. And that hasn't happened to me in a week, so I'm pretty excited about that. Also gave me some stuff for my sinuses, and then anxiety. I think what I really do have is anxiety, like after talking to the doctor and talking to some other people in my life as well, because you can talk to me about like anything and I'm fine. Like you can talk to me about like, oh, I went to the park today and then I did this and then this happened, but the minute you start talking to me about like my channel and the responsibilities and the emails, and that's like all of a sudden where I'm like, my heart starts pounding, I'm exhausted. I mean, I'm exhausted anyways, I've been sleeping a lot lately, but I'm exhausted, I'm just like really nervous, I just can't focus, I just get super emotional. So I really do think that my problem is a lot of anxiety that's coming just from my business, from doing all of this. I will admit, I literally think I was just not prepared for what running a channel, running your own business entails. Like, I think when I first started building my channel, like the only thought process on my mind was like, I have to build this as fast as possible as I can, and I wasn't thinking about like what would happen after, you know. And I think the reason why I was thinking about that is because I wasn't really happy at my job. I'm a 6th house Saturn, you know. I haven't really been happy at many of my jobs, haven't really felt like they've been going anywhere, like I've been using a lot of my talents. So I think a big thing for me was like, I have to build this as fast as I can so that I can get out of my job, do something I feel like I'm meant for, which was important. a lot of my jobs I've also had have been, I mean, I'm in journalism, and I can write and report. I have done that before. I've worked for local newspapers before, but like most of the jobs that I've done really since I graduated with my master's degree have been building audiences, building communities, getting more and more page views a lot of times. And I felt like my ideas at those companies weren't really ever respected or taken into account. So I think too, I wanted to kind of, this probably isn't a good way to think, but there's also part of me that kind of wanted to stick it to everyone else to show them that building an audience can happen, that my strategies are like not bad strategies, which are really not strategies at all. It's called just being human. So I think there was a lot of me that was like really just, I gotta do this fast. And I knew the work that I was doing was a lot to do that was maybe a little bit unsustainable. So I was like, I gotta do it, and I gotta do it fast. And I never thought about, well, what happens when you get to XYZ, then what? Or I did think about those things, but of course never having experienced it before, didn't really know what to do. And I kept hoping, you know, just move forward, Britt, like just go in this direction, and then all of a sudden like help will be there, and if situations will pop up and will occur that can help you to fix the things that you're having problems with, you know, can help you to get your routine better, because then something else, and it just hasn't happened. Doesn't mean that it won't. Like, I do think that there will be more opportunities in the future to help with me doing astrology, but it just hasn't come right now. And I think right now I do just need the time to rest after like building up my channel. Like, I just feel like I did it way too fast. So I think I'm gonna do that. To just like rest after all of that's gone on. I will be back, just so you all know, like astrology is here to stay with me. I don't know what everything's gonna be like when I get back. Like, I feel like I might have to make some kind of big change. I either might have to like hire a bunch more people to help me like edit videos, like do posts on Instagram and Facebook and make image quotes and things like that. But I don't know, because I'm like, then that might make some of my stuff like less authentic. Then I won't be doing some of this stuff, or I'll be doing some of this stuff, but then I'll have to hire other people to do some of the other astrology. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, the other option is for me to downsize, but I don't want to downsize either. Like, I like giving you a lot of free stuff. Like, I love astrology, you know, I think it's super valuable. So I was like, I don't want to downsize and like get rid of some of the other things I was doing so that I can do other things. So that's also very hard for me. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think that's my big question, is like, where do I want to take my business, and what do I want to spend most of my time doing? Like, what really resonates with me? Do I want to, like, I don't know. You know, I think it's like the world is my oyster, and I think that's been hard for me to figure out what's going on. And I think my biggest fear when I left my job was like the money. How am I going to make money? I don't know. I'm like, I'm not going to have any money. And I think I'm so grateful to all of you that hasn't really been, and now that I've shown myself in the past 6 months that hasn't really been an issue. I think now my big question is, okay, you know, you can make money, but what do you want to offer? Like, that really resonates with your heart, and what can you offer that is of good quality, that will really satisfy the people that do buy and keep them coming back and make the purchases really worth it for both of us. And so I think that's a lot of what I'm trying to work out, and I'm gonna have to figure out. I may have to change some things. I really just don't know. I legit am hoping, and I like keep hoping. I'm like, hopefully something or someone or some unexpected opportunity will appear. I mean, I see Uranus gonna square the nodes like a little while down the road. I see like Saturn about to trine Uranus. Uranus is going to come back to a lot of planets in my chart once it gets into 29 degrees, you know, of Aries. So I like keep hoping that something unexpected is going to come up, but I know that I can't plan on that because it's not here yet. So I'm going to have to think of some other things. So I don't know, you know, I really wish I had an answer for you all on what's going on with me, but I just feel like I need a break because it's been a lot. And every time I think about hunkering down, doing a lot more work, it like scares me. I get super anxious. and I just need to regroup, come back to myself, and figure out what my new plan is now that so much of my life has changed that I am all very thankful for. So I really do appreciate that. I think a lot of it too, I know I'm just rambling, but for those of you who are interested in my story, I think a lot of it too is just, it really is scary to put myself out there in videos every day. You know, I have a 12th house stellium. For those of you that know about the 12th house, you know, it's not the easiest thing for someone with a 12th house, for a 12th house person to be up on a stage, putting themselves out there day in and day out. It's really kind of a reflective, quiet, introverted kind of house, and I have tons of planets there. So I think that's also been very hard for me to do that, you know, and to do it every day and to be there. And you all have been amazing. Like, my mom looks at the comments and she goes, Britt, she was like, the people that follow you are so nice. She's like, I've never seen anything like this before. And I'm like, I know, they're really, really good to me. But I do think it has been just a little bit shocking for my system to put myself out there, because I do prefer to stay behind the scenes a little bit. But I find that I'm not successful when I stay behind the scenes, and I find that maybe it's my 11th house Jupiter, and I find that I'm not fulfilled when I stay behind the scenes, so that makes it hard too. And I find that I'm not successful with what I've been doing. It's like all of a sudden I put myself out there. It's a thing that's kind of scary for me, that is like messes with me a little bit on the inside, but has really been really good for me. So it's just been really interesting to see that when it's like some of the things that I want to do, I don't succeed at, and then the thing that I'm like kind of scared about makes me really, really nervous, like all of a sudden I'm doing really well with. And so I think a lot of it too is just kind of managing those emotions and trying to get a handle on that. So I don't know, I mean, I don't want to chat your ear off, but those are just a lot of things that are going on with me. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention, if y'all are curious about my astrology, I was like, I should bring up my chart and just go through it. But I also have a really interesting thing going on, like with the astrology and my chart too. And I think that's part of what's like causing the problem. I'm like so anxious, to be honest with you all, for the next 2 years of my life, because there are a lot of things that are happening just for me personally in my own chart that are rare. They're rare, like for all of us. Like, they're things that we all, like each of us as individuals, don't really experience that often, and they're things that I haven't experienced in years in my chart. And so I think that's another thing where I look at my chart and I am so excited, like for the next few years. I think a lot of it's going to happen in October. I think I'm going to have a lot of big events, fingers crossed, next July, and I just can't wait. And I think that's part of where I am right now, is I'm like super anxious, especially with Mars in the South Node. I'm like impatient. I want to force things to happen. And it's like one of those situations where it's like, man, you can't force things. Like, maybe I just need to take a time out and wait for things to work themselves out. You know, I've got my progressed new moon. I don't know how many of you all know advanced astrology, but I've got my secondary progressed new moon occurring in October. This only happens once every 30 years roughly, and it doesn't always happen at the same age for all of us. It depends what moon phase you were born under, and this is the first progressed new moon that I will have had since I was like a baby, since I was 1 year old. And usually at your progressed new moon, it's like new energy, a new life, new beginnings, fresh starts. And I've been living on a third quarter moon for like 8 years now. It's been really hard. It's like nothing's ever worked out. So I like see this progressed new moon coming up in October, and I am like, what's the word, like above this. I'm just like in heaven when I look at this in my chart. On top of that, I see like solar arc Jupiter coming over my Mercury, Venus, and Sun conjunction. And I'm like, not only am I going to have a fresh new start, a new beginning in my life in October, I'm going to have the most luck I'll ever have in my entire life with money, with relationships, with friends, with audiences, with building a community of people online, with maybe meeting a romantic partner, with making friends, you know, with, yeah. So I'm just like so excited to get there, and it's all going to happen for me in the next 2 years. But it's like, it's not going to start until October. And then I also have Pluto on my descendant, which I've been waiting for, since I really haven't had too much going on like relationally in the way that I want. I've had lots of stuff happening, perhaps in relationships that haven't been quite what I was hoping. So I'm really waiting for Pluto to just like turn things around. The eclipses on my descendant, ascendant. So I am just pumped for my life. Like in the next, I really do think like astrology is going to stick with me. The next 2 years years, my life is going to change in a huge way. It's going to be totally something different, totally different people in my life. I like to think in a much better way. I'm really hoping for a relationship, and I can just see it all coming, and I think I'm really, really impatient, and I'm trying to get there. And I think what I've realized is that I'm not there yet. I'm still in a progressed balsamic moon phase. I'm not there yet. I need to release everything that's happened to me before integrate and really just sleep it off. Like, the balsamic moon is one of sleep, of hibernation of sorts in some ways. On top of that, I have Neptune in a conjunction with my Mars, which also can make me very sleepy. So it's like a lot of these things where I'm like, oh, I feel like I've just been like either held back by other people or been holding myself back for so long, and it's like I want to move forward, but I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet, and I'm not ready yet. The other people in my life who are gonna like be major players, maybe they're, it's like I don't even know, and so I'm just trying to figure all of that out and to manage my own self as all of that happens, because I've been waiting for a really long time for some things to happen in my life that I felt like I wanted to happen earlier. I'm 30. I mean, I'm not young, even if I act like a kid. I'm not young, and I guess compared to some of you all may be like, you are, but I'm not. I don't feel like I'm super young, and so it's like I've been waiting for a really long time. I feel like the past few years really have just been, and they haven't been bad. Like, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm a pretty lucky person. They haven't been bad things. They've just been disappointing. Like, oh, I really wanted that to happen. It didn't happen. Or I really thought like that the chips would fall in this way in my life, and they actually fall in the way that I didn't really want them to fall. It wasn't bad for me. I'm still okay. Like, it's not like my life is horrible now. It's just like, man, like that would have been really nice. When is my turn gonna come up in the lottery? And it just hasn't happened. And so I'm like super excited, and I think I'm just trying to force it before it's time, especially in October. So I need to wait for that. I know that's another thing too. It's like I want to tell you I'm going to be back up to full speed in a month. After I get my wisdom teeth out, hopefully if I can schedule for something like the middle of August. But I'm like, technically, according to my progressed new moon, I may not be where I really want to be until October. And on October, I'm going to have Venus retrograde stationing on my 4th house Pluto, while Mars, right after Mars just finished squaring my 4th house Pluto. So I'm like, even then, like, I'm going to be making lots of changes in October, moving, if I'm not moving, like huge emotional changes, restructuring of like my life, of the foundation my life is built on, my business even. So it's just like, I'm just gonna need you all to hang in there with me. It's not that I don't want to be here. It's not that I'm trying to be too emotional with you all. It's just literally, I feel like my life is about to change in a way I've never experienced before. This channel, never in a million years would I have thought that I would have done this, that it would happen. And here it is, and I feel like I'm just really trying to figure out, okay, how can you get used to this new life? How can you see yourself in the right ways to support this, especially being at the moon phase that I'm in with these eclipses, and how can I just let myself go there? And I think I got to catch myself up to what's happened, and to move in that direction. And it's just been quite a ride. I talk to quite a few people that I do in my readings or that I know around town, or friends, and they all say to me, they're like, I don't know how you do what you do. Like, just doing that every single day would take so much work, and it just sounds so scary to put yourself out there. And there's a part of me that wants to be like, well, there's a part of me inside that I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. Like, maybe I'll say that, but there's also another part of me that's like, do you not think I'm scared? Do you not think I'm terrified? Like, do you not think it takes lots of work? And I've done it, and I've been very successful at it, thanks to all of you. But I just think I need to process and regroup on this progressed balsamic moon phase I'm personally in, so that I can do what needs to be done later. And I appreciate you all for hanging in there with me. So I've got there. I've talked for about 20 minutes. We'll see how many of you, if any of you, you don't have to. It's fine if you don't. I'm not sure if anyone's going to stay till the end of this video, but I just thought I would go on about some things. It's like, you see, it's like, I'm fine now, I'm fine. But the minute it's like I realize I have all this other stuff to do that people are waiting on me for, it's like, then I'm not used to it. And I really do think I just need time to be like, okay, Brittany, this is your life now. This is who you are. like this is happening and time to face it and to believe in yourself and to go for it. And I just need some time for all of that. But I'll be here. I'll be around for a while. I have yet to have Neptune cross my ascendant, my midheaven, excuse me. I have yet to have Neptune cross my midheaven. Very good for a spiritual career. I have yet for Chiron to cross my midheaven. Very good for a healing career. Healing and spirituality being very important. I'm doing this. I've built my audience on a balsamic moon phase. So I was like, if you think that astrology and spirituality, tarot, healing, whatever it is going away, for me, it's not. It's going to be here to stay for quite some time, especially since I'm starting it after my Saturn return, right next to a progressed new moon. I was like, what I do now, for me personally, is going to set the stage for the next 30 years of my life, and particularly the next 15 are going to be very telling for me before I start to readjust and maybe look into other things. So I want you all to know I'll be here. I'm going to be around for a while. It's just me getting used to what has now occurred and figuring out better ways for me to handle and cope with it emotionally, and for me to handle and cope with it practically through better strategies, with what I do, with what I offer, with how I offer things, and with more help through maybe hiring other people or whatever to help me do some of the things I want. And I just gotta figure out, because a lot of you can offer me suggestions, but I just gotta figure out what really resonates with me and my heart. And I wish the answers would come sooner. They haven't come yet. So we'll see. Maybe Mercury retrograde, when it conjuncts the sun, this last solar eclipse, I have high hopes. Hoping that can help put some of the pieces into place, even if I have to still put some work in to make it happen with all these planets running through Virgo after that. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope it was okay, and I'll talk to you later. I'll see you around. I'm still around. I'm just gonna take some time for myself, hopefully before I go home. Go out in nature, go on some hikes, meditate a little bit, get to bed earlier, sleep more. I've been really tired lately. I think the doctor gave me something as well that made me a little bit more tired, which I think was on purpose. So yeah, so we'll do that. I will get back to the emails that I have. I'm going to finish up the readings, but I'm just not trying to initiate any more new things at this point in time while I chill out, okay? So that's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for watching if you stayed with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.